Hello, and welcome to today's news stories. Today I'm going to be talking about three different news stories. The first one is going to be this Google versus Oracle case that just completed April 8th, 2021. It was going on for 10 years, since 2010. And it was when this company, Sun Microsystems, wrote Java. And basically, when they wrote Java, they gave it away to the world. It was free for everyone to use. It was basically like 3 million lines of code for free. And when Google went to write Android, they used about 0.04% of that code in the Android platform. So your phone at one point ran Java and this code that Sun Microsystems wrote. And Sun Microsystems knew the entire time. So the second Oracle bought them, they turned around and sued Google. So this court case basically been going on for 10 years. And finally, the Supreme Court basically said you can't copyright stuff that was already given away, like this API. And now the court case is done, and I'm pretty sure Oracle has to pay back taxes, or not back taxes, but back court case fees and stuff. And that for 10 years, that must be just crazy. Imagine um, how much that cost over the last 10 years of legal battles and lawyers. They say reusable building blocks. Think of Stripes for payments or Twilio for SMS. Yeah, like the connection between apps. Like you couldn't. They don't want you copywriting the connection in between apps. That's what this means. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And that's what happens when you give it away for free. You can't just buy the company and expect to collect. I think they wanted $9 billion. Yeah, nine with a B in damages. And what's funny is that uh, you it doesn't even run. Android doesn't even run this code anymore. I heard. So this code has actually been deprecated or removed from the system like years ago, and this court case was still going on. So finally, it's done, and it's great for software engineers. I believe in all open source stuff like here. If you come up here, you can just go to github.com. This is the same. Twitch and my GitHub page are the same, and then you can go to Golang examples. So this is all code that's free that I wrote. And you can click any one of these and click this playground and click run, and it'll all work. So I completely agree that code should be open source most of the time. Um, On to the next story. This one's not so great either. The other one was good. This one's kind of bad. This one's unfortunately about Google too. This is a lady that joined Google from 2015 to 2019, and basically said this was her dream job, but some manager harassed her, which is just awful. I can't imagine this even going on still. Like, what is just so disappointing to hear, especially for a company at Google's size, and you know, and I wonder what happened to this manager, or what, if there's any backlash to this. And I mean, there are tons of comments, which is kind of crazy. So I hope Google takes a really hard look at this, because this will pull people away from their company for sure, from working there. I feel bad. It's Emmy Nightfeld. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Basically, she was called all these names from a manager. And I guess the other side of the story is she's like, I went to a company that I don't love. It's more of like a job only. And that's disappointing to hear too, because I think technology is one of those fields that you should love what you do, but you should also love your job too. It's not easy saying like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be disconnected from this technology job," which sounds terrible too. So on to some better news. I'm going to show this new Python feature, and this came out in Python 3.9. This is pretty new. I guess not that new, but it's really an interesting way to add two dictionaries together, and there's actually some benefits to why it's more powerful this way to do. And I wrote a bunch of code to kind of show this example. So I'm going to bring up this terminal. And the first thing I'm going to do is load this bpython. And I installed this module called faker. So I can do from faker import faker. And then I do fake equals faker like this. And I do fake dot email. And it just spits out a fake email. You can use this for testing. And I wanted to do name. So I did a bunch of names here. So let's look at this script I wrote. This new features here. So this is going to show the example of why this is more important than just a new feature in Python 3.9. It's actually a lot more efficient than the previous way. Okay, so we import the same module here, this faker. I do the faker equals faker again. Now I have this generate ran data, and I create a new dictionary, and then I loop over this range, and I generate a fake name, and I just assign it a number here, and then I return this. So then you can come down here and it'll call it. So now I'm going to call this with a 5. So this is going to run this gen ran. This is going to loop through here. Let's see if I can highlight this. It's going to loop through this 5 times, and then it's going to return it. And then this is going to be my new dictionary here. And it's going to print it out, and then it's going to print out how long it is. So let's run that code. So just do Python 3, new feature. And you can see I got 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the index starts at 0, but the length of the dictionary is 5. Okay, so now that we see how that works, let's create another one. And this is the old way of how 2 Python dictionaries needed to merge into one. And you actually had to always create a temporary variable called z, and then call the first dictionary to copy it into this. And then you have to do this z.update. Otherwise, it would not merge correctly. So we'll look at this. And this still works in Python 3. But now, instead of doing that, there's a new feature in Python 3.9. Instead of using this z variable and an update, you have this new feature where you just put this, and it doesn't have to use the temporary variable, and I believe it's a lot faster. And then you can just do print zz. And now you have Steve right there, and then Steve here, and then this is the second dictionary, Haley, and then that's Haley right here, and you can see the index is here, or I'm sorry, the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 again. So that's basically a lot better way to merge 2 Python dictionaries. And that's a new feature in 3.9. Thanks for watching.